of this message. So now I'm going to do the English version. Well, most of the people that subscribe to me are not from the Netherlands anyway, so now I'm going to do an English version of it, and I expect to see more people in the live chat also. And by the way, I'm in Leiden at the moment. It's a sunny day, so as you can see. So please, if you're here, let me know in the live stream, live chat if you're here, please. Thank you very much. Please let me know that you're here. I'm going to wait a few minutes for people to come in. And meanwhile, I'm going to continue to walk through Leiden. All right. So as you can see, I'm healthy and well. Praise the Heavenly Father. Yes. Please, when you're here, let me know in the live chat. I'll wait 3 more minutes before I begin with the message. Meanwhile, you can just see the environment around me. Now I'm walking through the city. Hold on, let me hold this well. Okay. There's a street musician making music, so you can hear it also. Let me know the live chat when you're here, please. This is the English version of the message. I already completed the Dutch live stream, so this is in English. So let me know when you're here in the live chat, please. I'm walking through Leiden at the moment. Sunny day, student city. All right. So let me know the live chat when you're here, please. Live streams are meant to be interactive. On the previous live stream that I made right before this, it was in Dutch, so I didn't have many viewers, because I also wrote in the title Dutch version. Well, this is the English version, so I expect you to be active in the live chat. Hey, Terry. Thanks for being here. Thank you very much for showing yourself in the live chat. That's good. All the rest, please, show yourself in the live chat. Again, I'm walking through Leiden at the moment. Should I go to this shop? Oh, no, I'm not going to that shop. All right, thanks for the thumbs up, whoever gave it. Yes, I'm walking through Leiden. You can hear people around me in Dutch, which is good. IPVP, thanks for being here. Very much appreciated. So, I'm going to wait an extra 2 minutes to give people the time to come in. And then it's exactly 5 minutes, then I became the teacher. It's a sunny day here, so it's good, I'm out. Praise the Heavenly Father. So this is a student city, so you may see some young people walking around. A lot of them look depressed, by the way, so due to all this cultural stress that's around, so please, don't, so it's not just that you're warned. But I'm glad to see people are smiling, being happy here. There are migrants around also. Praise the Lord. Name is good. As you can see, much of the architecture of the city is old-fashioned. This is an old Dutch city. This place was already settled during the Roman era and before. The Romans built a settlement around here in the past called Luctunum Patavorum. Luc refers to some god that the Celts worshipped. So, okay. So let me see. I'm almost going to start the message here, which is good. Oh, we're going to pass near a Freemason monument very soon. So just just a trigger warning for those who are sensitive to such stuff. We'll pass by within 40 seconds, I believe. All right, 5 minutes are up. I'm gonna wait 30 seconds more, then I finally have to begin. And by the way, if you watch the, if you see the Dutch version of this message, you see me speaking Dutch. So if you want to know how Dutch sounds like, please watch that live stream, please. Thank you very much. So yes, Freemason Monument just around the corner, just right over there. You see it? Yeah, right over there. Okay, the message is as we go. There are few people here, but I don't care. Haunted people. How do you know when someone is haunted? Well, it's very simple. How do you recognize a haunted building? Yes, I want you to see the building here. Pyramid structure, Greek style. Oh, and you have the eye of Apollo over there also. Yep. There it is. In plain sight. And man don't even pay attention to it. But okay. Haunted people. When a building is haunted, we recognize it. The building either is abandoned, or a lot of people avoid the building. The building even gives you a creepy vibration. And when you're in the building, often weird things tend to happen. Weird sounds, strange noises, or people go missing, or weird accidents. So when a building is haunted, you can recognize it's haunted. I don't really have to explain that. All right? However, let me see where I'm going to go right now. Yes, looking for the, just go right over here. So when a building is haunted, it's obvious. But what when people are haunted? Well, let me tell you, when people are haunted, you have exact same symptoms. But of course, a human being is not a building, and human bodies don't last more than 120 years. Anyway, most of them even last 100 years. So when a human being is haunted, he will experience the following around them. And by the way, an individual can be haunted because, hold on, they can be haunted because they are the victim of psychic violence. That's one thing, so they're the scapegoat. Or they can be haunted by their own negative investments. That's what happens to narcissists often. Okay? So again, a human being can be haunted either as a target of psychic violence, so they're the ones being victimized, or their own negative investments are backfiring on them. There's a big difference between someone that's haunted as a victim and someone that's haunted because their own negative investments backfire. There's a big difference. And a lot of folks, they simply don't see the difference. Well, there is a difference, and there are ways for you to detect it, so you don't end up casting your pearls before swine. Because when someone is haunted because their own negative investments backfire, that individual is just dangerous because they don't want to even face themselves. So helping or reaching out such an individual is very dangerous. Don't do that. But if someone is haunted because they're the victim, then it's appropriate for you to reach out to them and to intervene. If someone is endangered, you should minister onto them. If someone is dangerous, you avoid them. And dangerous people, the only intervention you can do is that you shut down their negative emissions where possible. Okay. I already made a live stream in which earlier today, in which I've explained how you can nuke and how you can energetically nuke negative tension. So please watch that one. But okay, before I continue, did any one of you ever experience someone whom you suspected is haunted? Did you ever suspect that someone was haunted around you? Please let me know in the live chat. Please let me know. Oh, they're renovating things again, as you can see here. Yes. They're always renovating here in the Netherlands, man. But okay. So, Tell me, what were the symptoms that caused you to think that someone was haunted? Please let me know. I'll give you time to answer. Meanwhile, I'm standing near this Greek monument over here. Yes, European leaders often see ancient Greece as their foundation culturally. So when they put public monuments, it's often in the Greek style often, also as a tribute to the beast. But anyway, which symptoms caused you to think that that individual was haunted? Just let me know. I'll give you some time to answer before I continue my walk over here. And let's see if is this live chat working? But okay. Okay, Nem is saying add the changes too quickly in conversation. Well, that can be the case. Bra says always sharing bad news, weighs complaint out of their mouth. Terry says quick to anger, gets worse as time went on. Different personalities manifesting. Oh crap! Different personalities manifesting. Oh, that's very dangerous right over there. Man, I'm gonna leave this Greek monument alone. Just continue my walk. The way. As you can see here, this is where I am at the moment. We're outside enjoying the weather, which is good. But okay. The symptoms you all mentioned are exactly the symptoms you will notice when someone is haunted. Now, here's one thing to remember about people that are haunted. Remember one thing. People that are haunted, they don't have a dress code. They don't all go around wearing black clothes and black makeup looking sad. Now, there is a subculture, the gothic subculture that loves to do such stuff, okay? But that's a whole nother topic. But so stop looking for people who wear black clothes, put black makeup on, and look sad all the time. Think, oh, they're haunted. No. Haunted people come in all sizes and shapes, okay? There is no physical determination that someone is haunted. But there are ways you can recognize someone is haunted. The number one, take notes of this, the number one sign or symptom someone is haunted is that repeatedly, not once in a while, but repeatedly, bad things keep happening when they're around. All right? So let me tell you one more time. Everywhere they are, something goes wrong. You get me? So let me give an example. Let me give an example. Let's say that you have your Uncle Jerry. I'm just using an example here. Uncle Jerry. Jerry is seldom invited to birthday parties or social gatherings. People are cool with him, but they never invite him. So we ask ourselves, why is Uncle Jerry never invited? And then you invite Uncle Jerry to your house one day, and suddenly your refrigerator breaks. So now you have to spend $200 to purchase a new refrigerator. Okay? Another time, after that you call with Uncle Jerry, and suddenly while you're calling with him, afterwards you have to go to the hospital because you have those intense pains in your stomach. And then you hear that Uncle Jerry was fired because when he was at work, suddenly people broke in and stole a lot of stuff. So, what is going on here? This Uncle Jerry, he has a pattern of misfortune. Everywhere he arrives, everywhere he goes, there's some type of misfortune manifesting. So, now you realize, hold on a minute, every time I'm in contact with this Jerry, my uncle, something goes wrong. Or some type of tragedy occurs. Now you know what's going on. That uncle of yours, two things can be the case. Either he's the victim of psychic violence, and all the negative tension around him causes malfunction with everyone he comes to contact with. That's not his fault, something's done to him. Or he's a reprobate, whose investments are backfiring, and because of that, all that pollution of his harms other people. It can be one to two. In both cases, they're haunted. Okay? So now, the moment you notice this with your uncle, this is what you're going to do. You're going to look into his past, check to see if you notice more patterns, and then you're going to check what other people say about him. Because if he's a reprobate whose net investments are backfiring, then indeed he will sooner or later reveal his reprobate ways. So ask some people who've met him how he was towards them. All right? So when you figure out that a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about him, if those bad things they're saying are over the top, then likely he's just a victim of psychic violence, okay? But if the things they're saying about him has base in reality, and you realize that, okay, this man is really disturbing how he treats other people, okay, now you figured out, all right, something indeed is very wrong with my uncle. You know what? I need to keep my distance from him. And that's what you do. You pray for him, that he remains alive, and that's for the basic stuff, but you keep your distance, okay? If he is just a victim of psychic violence, then what you do then is that you simply pray for him. You reach out to him and say, hey, Uncle Jerry, I've noticed that often when you're around, people blame you for things going wrong. And then he can tell you, indeed, nephew, after that people say that's my fault, things go wrong and all, I'm really sad because of it. Now look, now you can tell them, Uncle, do you went to a witch doctor once, were you involved with a witch or whatever? Begin to talk to him so they can tell you more, and then you'll figure out what the root is, and then you can deal with the root together. And if he's a believer, this will go very quickly. Okay? Now, that's how you do it when people are haunted. Don't just get upset and avoid them. Ooh, he's haunted, whatever, because then you participate in the problem. And you become a guilty participant in the wrong that's going on. Don't do that. When you get the sense that someone appears haunted, check what type of individual they are, check the people around them to see where they are, a victim of psychic violence, or they are a perpetrator whose violence backfires. Now sometimes you have victims who have disturbing attitudes. Maybe they have coping mechanisms that are quite harmful, because that's how they were raised. And because of those coping mechanisms, people tend to use them as an easy scapegoat. So sometimes it's a bit complicated. Sometimes it's not that easy to figure out whether someone is a perpetrator or a simple victim that's targeted. In any case, do your research. Okay? You have to do your research so you can figure out what the heck is going on. All right? So, did any of you ever did this when you what I've just explained? Please let me know in the live chat. Please let me know. Let me know in the live chat, please. Did you ever do this? When you considered that someone may have been haunted. Okay. Someone says no, it happened. What about the rest of you? No. Over here. Okay, so now you have instructions on what to do when you think someone is haunted. These things are very important because a lot of believers lack proper knowledge in this case. And listen what I'm saying, when someone is haunted and you suspect it's because of them being a reprobate during the reprobation process, then absolutely keep your distance, please. Till you're sure that they're safe to minister to. Don't just think, oh, They need help. Let's have empathy and help them. Empathy is a good thing. I support you having empathy, but your empathy should not be used against you. You understand? So, let's see. Maybe I'll get some drinks. No. Not going to do that. Over here. Absolutely not. So, yeah. What I'm pointing out here is that when someone is haunted, the thing you should never do is ignore it or explain it away. And I mean it. Do not explain that crap away. That's how many people get into a lot of trouble. That's how many of you got into a lot of trouble also. Because someone else around you explained away when someone else was haunted. And by the way, the one that's haunted is not your enemy. Whether they're reprobate or just fake, they're not your enemy. It's just a situation that has to be dealt with. And the individual must be informed, listen, you're haunted, there's something going on, you need to participate in the solution. Look, if someone is lying in the water, for example, someone is lying in the water and they're drowning and you jump in the water and rescue them, okay, you can do that. You can rescue someone from a bad situation, there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to things that are psychologically rooted or spiritually rooted, you can't just rescue them out of them. Those are things that they haven't processed, either youth traumas or issues in life that they haven't processed properly, and because of that, they're an easy target, or the demons can just simply use them easily. So in this case, the individual needs to participate in the solution. So you have to hold them accountable, say, okay, what happened to you is not your fault, but you are responsible for looking for a way out. So hold them accountable, and don't hold them accountable in an accusing way. No, hold them accountable in a loving, kind way, because, hey, some of you were haunted too. And you came to this ministry and you were helped. You get me? And Christ did never blame you for being haunted or whatever. So, let's see. What else can I talk about around here? And by the way, I just encountered someone that on Qantas, but I did not reach out because I'm making this live stream, because ministering to you guys goes before anything else. When I'm doing a live stream and ministering onto you, everything else has to wait, literally. Even if I encounter 10 people that are greeting me, I'm going to greet them and tell them I'm on the phone, I need to do something. So sometimes the enemy will send people your way just to distract what you're doing. Well, not over here. So, do any of you have any questions relating to this topic? Please ask me right now. I purchased those extra gigabytes for my mobile phone subscription just to make live streams outside. So hit the live chat with those questions, please. Thank you very much. All right. All right, I'm waiting for that to get some questions. All right. How can you effectively deal with parents in communication? Well, I'm not a psychologist, as you know, but I can recommend you, based as an anthropologist, just only communicate with them when necessary. And when you don't have to communicate with them, just don't talk to them. Just avoid them. Being haunted is not being possessed. Being haunted simply means that you have negative tension that's afflicting you by the negative meditations of other people, or by, if you're a reprobate, your own pollution backfiring on you. And evil spirits just hover around you, hang around you, take advantage of it. Yes, IPVP, that's right. Haunted people tend to have diseases more easily or tend to have physical symptoms without any medical cause. It often happens. Look, a reprobate can be victimized by the group as a scapegoat, but it doesn't change the fact they are a reprobate. So you have regular people that can be victimized, and you have reprobates can be victimized. If someone's a reprobate, then that's the warning signal you need to watch out for, not the fact that others may insist against them. All right. IPVP, English is not even my first language. My native languages are Papiamentu and Dutch. I've learned English. Okay, so sometimes in the past I also used to make some small errors when speaking English, but I was corrected often by other believers, so don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, please. All right. And another thing, haunted people often have financial struggles that suddenly they just don't want to go away. It's not that they have bad spending habits, it's that every time when money comes to their hands, there's some type of disaster happens that requires them to spend the money upon. So people with chronic financial issues look at that also. And by the way, you can be haunted as a believer too. Believers are retaliated against, so often you can be haunted as a believer due to the violence of society. But because we have the resurrection power, we can overcome that. So that's not a problem for us. Worldlings, however, hell, they're in trouble. They have to go to the paranormal to get a charm, to get ease. Or they have to just surrender and die. You get me? Not so you, the saint. Okay? So, all right. Joshua, why are you asking this question in this live stream? Well, that's not to do with the topic. Okay. IPVP. I already explained how you can get over being haunted. You look at the patterns. Maybe you weren't around early in life, so I'm going to repeat that. You look at the pattern of what's unfolding, and you avoid the pattern. As simple as that. Okay, to address Joshua's question, first of all, race is an artificial construct. Ethnicity is real. Okay, nationality is a political claim. And the thing is, when it comes to sexuality and sexual relationships, you have to be submitted to Heavenly Father first. Let Heavenly Father decide who's okay for you. So that's what I'm telling. If it's someone from another ethnicity, fine. If it's from the same ethnicity, fine also. So that's what we do. We gotta stop thinking in terms of race, because race is an artificial religious construct from the Roman Catholic Church. Ethnicity is real. Okay? And by the way, now that you're talking about ethnicity anyway, some ethnic minorities in certain countries are haunted by psychic racism. Psychic racism is when people perform psychic violence on you due to your ethnic background. It happens. So just understand that some groups in a specific community can also be haunted. It's not just people can be haunted, also groups can be haunted. So it can be that your mom and dad also want you to marry someone from a certain ethnicity because they see that those people have a lot of things that haunt them, which can be true. But then the thing is, the spouse that you choose from that community, that you want to marry, do you want them because you want a community built and you want to be fruitful as Heavenly Father commands you to? Or do you want to be with them because you're looking for compensation? Or because you have issues with your own ethnicity? Your motivations in sexual relationships is very important, so just check them well. Examine yourselves, okay? So, I hope I answered your question, Joshua. I'm not against marrying people from other ethnicities as long as the motivation is pure. If the motivation is wrong, I don't support it. Even if it's within your own ethnicity, I wouldn't support it if the motivation was wrong. And if you want to elaborate on this, Joshua, please email me. I'll be reading my emails soon because I have a tiny laptop with me over here. Hey, but listen to the following. Some ethnic groups are haunted not because of their ethnicity, but because of the psychic violence of the bigger community around them. So, for example, let's say you go to the Philippines, for example, and you have a Chinese minority living in let's say Davao City, for example. It can be that a lot of those firefighters come around a lot, so I don't know what is going on here. It can be that, okay, let me stand over here. It can be that those Chinese folks in Davao City in the Philippines are often afflicted with violent crime, or they often have a lot of health issues. Now, why is that? It is because the Filipino society is using Chinese folks as a scapegoat. So there's a lot of negative meditation going towards Chinese people. So that's why, in that case, the Chinese minority in the Philippines can suffer a lot of psychic tension. So a lot of them may be haunted by the psychic tension. Okay? That doesn't mean that they're being haunted because they are Chinese in itself. They're haunted because their Chinese ethnicity is blamed or used against them. The same way you can have black folks that are haunted in an area or white folks that are haunted in an area. So sometimes groups of people in an environment can also be haunted. So pay attention to it. If someone is haunted and they're trying to get your attention, why do they want your attention? Please ask yourself that. Especially if they are from the opposite sex, ask yourself, why is this haunted individual looking for my attention? Ask yourself that. Okay? If they're reaching out to you because they see that you're able to help them out, then you need to point out to them, listen, I may be able to help you out, but listen, I can't heal you, I can't recover you. You need to trust and then follow yourself, and you need to work on, you need to comply solutions too. Be firm about it. If it's not because they need or want help, then I advise you to just lower contact or just avoid them as much as possible. Because in this case, it might be that the entities that are hovering around them want to drag you in the misery too. I'm just giving it really over here. So, and sometimes you have reprobates who know why they're haunted because their crap is backfiring on them, and because they don't want all the weight of their negative tension to destroy them, they want to share the burden so that they are not harmed. Maybe it's a reprobate who's about to lose his mind and develop diseases and die. But because he's able to share, trick others to share in his burden, share in his misery, now others are afflicted too by the misery, so not all the consequences don't fall down on him. That also happens. Some people want more people in their misery, so their misery doesn't only kill them. Because like 5 people share their misery, now all this dark cloud that's haunting them is not following all the 5 people. If those other people were not around, all the dark cloud would fall on them only, and they would die very quickly. So to extend their own lifespan, they want others in their misery. Reprobates do that often. By the way, can you hear me clearly? There's a little bit of wind over here. I want to make sure you're hearing me. All right. All right. So, okay, people can hear me crystal clear. That's good. So, now we know this. Reprobates, when their crap backfires, they don't want to die. They don't want to get cancer. They don't want to get disease and all of that. So, the best way for them to do it is to make sure there are more people that carry the waste, because it can be that you're around the reprobate, and because of that, it's not just you, it's not just the reprobate that gets sick, but also you. If you were not around, the sickness would kill the reprobate off more quickly. But now, because you participate in a misery, without you being aware of it, you also become sick, and the reprobate is less sick. The reprobate can easily get treatment for the disease. And pay attention to this. There are reprobates who go to witch doctors just to completely transfer the waste away from their energy field onto you. And such reprobates would often look for sexual contact with you. And the moment you give in to their advances and they lay with you, first of all, you're polluted because of what's on, because their energy field is intertwined with your energy field, so their pollution and their energy field is going to pollute your energy field. Is one thing. But during the intercourse, they will whisper spells on you. And they will force that, they will command the demons to push all the weight out of their own energy field into your energy field. And then after the intercourse, you're the one feeling tired, you're the one feeling depressed, you're the one feeling suicidal. And when that happens, suddenly they break all contact. They don't want to have sex anymore, or they don't want to talk to you anymore. How many of you went through that? That there was this sex partner that suddenly, after you have sex with them for a while, or sex with her for a while, suddenly he or she disappeared. You were left behind with all types of issues, health issues, financial issues, energetic issues. How many of you have been through that? Let me know in the live chat, please. Oh well, the worship Greek goddess is around here. But what else can I expect? So let me know, how many of you have experienced this? Terribly glad you have never experienced that. So understand the following. Some reprobates, oh crap, IPVP went through it. I'm glad you're still alive, IPVP. I'm glad you're still alive. By the way, IPVP, I may have asked it already one time, I'm not sure, but I've forgotten, are you a female or are you male? IPVP. The thing is, if this, oh female, oh dear, things, if this happened to you, if someone used sex magic on you to transfer their waste onto you, if that happens and you're a female, you have to go into therapy. Because if you don't go into therapy, you will remain messed up. That's how deep it goes. If your man is done to you, you're more able to cope with it because you're built as a man, it's different. But just watch out for this, believers, or watch out for these saints. Some people, when their shit is backfiring on them and the negative waste is harming them, some don't want to get rid of negative waste altogether. Some want others to share in the waste so that they don't have to carry all the weight, but others want to get rid of the weight altogether. It's only lasts for a while because they're still filthy, so new filth will generate. But for the moment, they want to get rid of that toxic weight that's killing them. So they will seek for some sexual victim to transfer their weight onto. There are even books you can purchase on how to do this. I believe there are even videos on YouTube of pagans teaching other pagans how to do this crime. Okay. For some reason, YouTube has no problem with those videos being up. But they're on my ass when I mention things about a specific invisible enemy, starting with the sea. All right. VP, I'm glad you went to therapy and that you're healthy right now. Praise the Lord. That's good. That's good. I'm glad about that. He did it to 80 other women in only half a year. Was he an apprentice wizard? Sometimes wizards who are in their, sometimes those wizard apprentices, yes, those who are wizards in education, often have to do such stuff, causing sexual trauma to a lot of women in a smooth way, as tribute to Satan. It often, such things happen. Well, anyway, I'm glad you're freed from him. That's the most important thing right now. Here's a beautiful sight. Just want to share it with you over here. Yes. The Netherlands has beautiful sights and beautiful places. I just wish the mentality of the people were a bit more beautiful. But okay, that's another topic. All right. So, the question line is still open. Drop your questions in the live chat, please. Oh, hold on. There's something else I need to emphasize over here. Hold on a minute. When it comes to human sexuality, you can feel when someone is haunted, even without talking to them. Okay? Look, for the ladies out there, listen to this. When you are in a room, okay, and you suddenly feel like your sexual organs your reproductive organs are getting warm, you feel sexually aroused out of thin air, and you also feel afraid while it happens. By the way, your body is not designed to be sexually elated and frightened at the same time. Those two don't go hand in hand. So when you feel like your reproductive organs, or I'm saying your sex organs, are getting warmer, and you feel like you're sweating, you feel the sex hormones rushing through your body, and you feel frightened also, I'm telling you what's going on. Some haunted men entered the room. In this case, not a victim, but a perpetrator, some foul perpetrator entered the room. And your inner radar is warning you for him. He entered the room with his predatory sexual vibration, and he's dropping that vibration all over the place. And you're picking that up. Okay, so ladies, never ignore this, please, never. If you ignore this, you are putting yourself in harm's way. All right? Well, I'm allowed to sit over here because, well, I'm an alumni, and this is my alumni card. This is my Leiden University card that I've made a while back. I believe several weeks ago. I let them make a new one because my previous one I lost in Korea. Here it is. This picture is from 2011. There's no other picture in the system, so it had to be this one. So yes, I'm allowed to sit around here. I put this back in here. Let's look at the questions. Bruh, can you please elaborate on your question? Because you worded it in a. I don't understand your question well. What exactly does you want to know? Okay. Okay. Look, some men will not look you in the eyes because of their own traumatic issues. They're not used to making eye contact, so that's an issue on them. So it's nothing. This doesn't mean they intend to harm you or anything like that. But some men avoid eye contact with you for another reason, namely, if you are a feminine, pure woman, pure in the sense that you're operating your femininity, if you're a feminine, pure woman, they can't handle looking in your eyes because it scares them. For some reason, and I already explained what the reason is, a feminine woman scares off a male predator. Okay, a male predator wants a defective woman to escalate upon. Healthy women scare them off. So if you are a healthy woman operating in your feminine confidence, negative men won't even dare to look in your eye because it's too scary for him. For him, you're like this monster when he looks at you. But that's because of his depravity. And it's nothing, I already told this. Ladies, do not make eye contact with a man unless he is safe to be around. He has to be safe to be around for you to make eye contact. Because if you make eye contact with a man, which your inner radar hints to you is not safe, that fierce stare of that guy, because men have a fierce build, biologically and also spiritually, that fierce stare of his can cause a slow hypnosis in you. Just beware, ladies. The same for you guys. When you make eye contact with a woman and you feel like something is penetrating through you, then please stop the eye contact immediately. Unless you are a firm saint, walk in the power, then you can afford to keep looking them in the eye and you can shut down that darkness that's coming from them. Ladies, I do not recommend you to do this. Keep looking someone in the eye to shut down the darkness. You're not built to do that, men are. So please, I don't recommend you to do that at all. Okay, bruh, can you please tell me, bruh, your question was, could a sex spell be you don't get along much when together, but they want to have sex just to change your mind? How you feel without addressing issues? What is your question exactly, bruh? Are those two questions? Write it again for me, please, so that I can answer it. Let me walk again. What the heck? Where's my face mask? Oh, my face mask's over here. Okay. I still have time, so please ask your questions, please, about this topic. Really, bro, are you there? I asked you multiple times to repeat your question in a better way so that I can understand what exactly you want to know. Because the last part of your sentence confused me a little bit. I don't want to give an answer that doesn't answer your questions. I want to know for sure what is it you're asking. Or if anyone else around here can pick up what he wants to know, let me know, please. Okay? Oh, I get it now. Okay, good that you repeated it. Is that considered a sex spell when the person initiates sex when you just had an argument to confuse your mind? No. Well, it depends. Okay? If you and your spouse had an argument and you just want to leave it behind you, then having some warm sexual intercourse can be a way to mend the situation emotionally. So there's nothing wrong with that. But if your sex partner is not interested in a solution, it just wants to be left alone, but it still wants to retain sexual access to you, then it is a sex spell indeed. Then its attitude is causing a spell on you. Okay? Again, drop your questions in the live chat, please. I'm here to serve you. The Heavenly Father blessed me and anointed me with a lot of power. Why? For your benefit. Yes, the Heavenly Father grants me abundance of goods, grants me abundance of life, abundance of wealth and all of that. But the main reason why He gave me so much power is for the sake of the saints, you. So I'm here for you now, so please drop those questions relating to this topic right now in the live chat. Joe, why do you even ask this? Sorry, I'm not attacking you, but that question is ridiculous. Because that thing, soulmates, has to do with romantic nonsense that Hollywood's promoting. There is no human being on the earth specifically designed for you by that my father. That does not exist. Bill, I already explained the difference between marriage and the wedlock. If you haven't watched those videos, please go and watch them. Because there's going to be too much information now if I have to go into that also right now. Okay. Victory in him says, I think bros talk about using make-up sex to reinforce trauma. Okay, that happens a lot. That happens a lot indeed. All right. The whole concept of a soulmate is idolatry. Because you think there's one individual of the opposite sex out there that has to make sure you're completely at ease. What? Please unlearn all that romantic and erotic nonsense. Eroticism comes from ancient Greece, and romanticism comes from Rome. Romanticism is emotional addiction, and eroticism is sexual addiction. Eroticism is used on men, romanticism is used on women. It's a trick of the enemy. I didn't say to look to seek dark knowledge. I never said that, bro. I never said that. I said if you know someone is haunted and they're approachable, ask them. Tell them you've noticed something and ask further. Dark knowledge has to do with the paranormal. I'm not talking about that. Okay? By the way, bro, is where you're from, so I know that I can consider if English is not your native language, I want to know where you're from so that I can consider when you're asking a question. Someone asks, can people be haunted from birth? Yes, it can happen. If your mother was pregnant and the people around her don't like the father of the baby, their anger towards the father can be transferred onto the baby, and the baby can be born with negative tension. So some people are haunted from birth. Or if they hate your grandfather and they did hex and spells against your grandfather, all the tension can escalate towards the offspring. That can also happen. All right? Okay. Bill, I recommend you to watch my videos about human sexuality. I made a lot of live streams and videos about human sexuality, male sexuality, female sexuality. Watch all of them. I answer all these questions in there. It's a controversial and for some people complicated topic, so I've addressed all of those things. All right. I've been here for almost an hour on this live stream. Not that I mind. I don't mind at all. I'm here for you guys anyway. So yes, some people are haunted from birth. And most of the time, such people aren't even aware that they are haunted. Other people are aware of it. Too often the public enables the haunting because they don't offer a healing climate. If the community would offer a healing climate, then the haunting would stop very quickly. But because communities are often narcissistic, that's why communities don't want to deal with what's going on. They just want to get rid of the one that's haunted, no matter if they're a victim. Especially if it's a child. A child is never a perpetrator. A child is always the victim. A child cannot be a reprobate. But when children are hunted, instead of reaching out to the children and offer a healing climate, they often blame the children. And they assist in developing monsters, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that happens. All right. If there are no other questions anymore, thank you all for being here. I'm going to get something to drink now. Keep on agreeing with Christ. Be at peace, and I'll see you next time.